Hi Annie and hi everybody in YouTube platform. This is a non-synchronous lesson for a first certificate level student. So we are going to work today on a report, how to write a report. Here I'm sharing with you a page from our students book, our course book, where we are currently working on with Annabelle, and you will see the steps to write a report. This, Annie, you are going to do as a homework to write a report. Before doing that, we are going to work on some other activities. But anyway, let's take a look at the procedure to write a report. When someone asks you to write a report, you are going to be requested about something, to write about something. So you should be sure that you do exactly what the question asks you to do. You should pay particular attention to the person that you are going to address this report to. Then you should begin by stating what is the purpose of your report. You should describe how you got that information. You should report your results. Maybe you can use items, lists of points. And finally, you should make a recommendation. You should express your conclusions. After you do that, you will have your report divided into sections. And they might be, for example, 3: introduction, results, and conclusions, for example, or any other that you decide. But before, as I was saying before, writing this report, what we are going to do is to take a look at this clause. And we are going to try to join them in as many different ways as we can. We have linking words below, for example, but, even though or although, however, in spite of or despite. On the one hand, but on the other hand. So the clauses are: he is rich and famous, one clause, and another clause, he isn't happy. So how many ways do we have to link these expressions? I invite you now to stop the video and think, and maybe even write all your possible answers. So we can say, for example, he is rich and famous, but he isn't happy. We can also say, although he is rich and famous, he isn't happy. We can say, he isn't happy even though he is rich and famous. Notice, pay attention, where do I put the linking word and what order do the clauses have? I can say, he is rich and famous. However, he isn't happy. I can say, in spite of being happy, in spite of being rich and famous, he isn't happy. Or he isn't happy despite he is rich and famous. I can say, on the one hand, He is rich and famous. But on the other hand, he is unhappy. All these are ways to express an idea. And we are seeing them, we are learning them because they are useful to write reports. So let's take a look at our grammar reference on page 169 to learn a little bit more about this. So we are going to take a look at linking words and phrases. On page 169, we have specifically the phrases we are taking a look at. But let's take a look at a little before. We have addition words and phrases. For example, as well as doing something, there is something else to do. Or in addition to doing something, there is something else to do. Not only was somebody in some way, you can read the examples here, but something else, she also, in this case, something else happened. Then we have words, linking words to list ideas or to describe a process. For example, firstly, secondly, and finally. We also have words to show relationship between a cause and an effect, a result. For example, as a result, or because of something. So, therefore, these are linking words for cause and effect. You can see some examples here as well. And what we are going to take a look at is this item where we have some contrast. The thing you know to be true and the surprising thing in one sentence. For example, although he trained every day, he couldn't improve his speed. This is the surprising thing, that he couldn't improve, although he trained every day. Even though it's summer, you still need a pullover. It is cold. Though there are a number of advantages, there are also serious disadvantages. Though can be used at the end of a separate sentence that express the surprising thing. For example, we didn't have enough money to go out very much. We still had a nice time though. We can also say, though we didn't have enough time, enough money to go out very much, we still had a nice time. In spite of and despite, let's take a look at this. They are prepositions. They must be followed by a noun, often the fact, the thing that happened, or a gerund, ing form. Despite is more formal, a little bit more formal. So we can say, in spite of the fact that it's known to be harmful, fact, many people continue to smoke. Or many people, gerund form, continue smoking. Despite the terrible weather, fact, they reached the top of the mountain. Or despite arriving early, we still could not get tickets. Another linking word is but. This word is used to contrast ideas in a sentence, in only one sentence. It is not normally used at the beginning, but in the middle. I eat chicken and fish, but I don't eat eggs. She is staying at home, but we are going out. And to finish, finally, using one of the linking words to describe different items or processes, we have on the one hand or on the other hand. We can also say on one hand. This expression, we use this expression when we want to introduce an opposite point in a discussion. We don't always use on the one hand. So we can avoid that phrase, start talking, and then use just the part on the other hand. But we can do as well, use both. So we have on the one hand, or nothing. If we do the exam in June, I'll be able to spend the summer with my family. On the other hand,